and TikTok. That's funny. It's like, yeah, almost passed out and died. All right, going live. Here we go. Let's check out the market. But yeah, I did think that maybe I was going to be paralyzed or something. I mean, it was. Thank God I'm not, though. Doing all right. My goodness. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, it was real scary. Whew. Yeah. Knocked me out for the whole weekend. Set my progress back a little bit because I usually use the weekend to forge ahead with 2 days of stuff I've been waiting to do. All right. Let's see. Let's get some more people in here. Did I put that in the wrong place? Or is it just that kind of a night? Let me go put it in the free chat room down here. All right. What do you think? It's hilarious how different people phrase thoughts on whatever, Thoughts on Apple and future outlook today and future outlook today and future outlook. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Attic or we're going to analyze the market first, and then VIX, and then any day trades we did today, and then we'll move on to checking out your guys' plays, checking out your guys' stocks. So, in my opinion, because and I could be wrong about this, but I think this is what's going on. Because interest rates have started rising for the first time, and we've got some rate increases. What happens is, as a business, that means the bills on your debt, especially for anything that you borrow from this point forward, are going up. So what does that do to your bottom line? That squashes your profit margins, and when you do the math, it can hurt pretty substantially. So, and then you take the PE, which means, like for instance, Tesla or something, or anything, you take the PE, that's how far into the future they're calculating the current price. And you realize, oh, okay, well, the interest rates are pretty much going to climb for the next 40 years. That's the cycles that we've been going in. They've been dropping since 1980, and we just hit zero, the bottom basically, after 40 years. And so now interest rates are going to start rising for the next 40 years. So that's going to put pressure on growth stocks. That's going to squeeze their margins down more and more and more. And then so growth stocks are going to be turning in less profits and have a little bit more struggle and trouble moving into the future. And at the same time, the place to go if rates are rising, the place to put your money is in companies that benefit, that get money because of higher rate lending. So what is that? Well, mortgage companies and banks, for instance. So what's possibly happening right now over the last, 5-6 sessions since we've been seeing red after the rate increases, is that institutional investors are rotating out of top equities and starting to plant their, long-term money, their 2, 4, 6, 8, 10-year money into banks and mortgage companies. And although some of what happened today on Rocket Mortgage may have been partial short squeeze, that is probably also what just happened, because it was only 6 days ago, 6 sessions ago, when we started to see the market dropping, and tech especially getting hit hard. And essentially what that is just selling. It's just institutional selling. They're taking their money back. Well, where were they going to put it? We hadn't seen yet. For a couple of sessions, they just let the market do what it was doing. They kept taking all their money out, What are they saying here? China's bond market. So now, today, possibly, potentially, for the first time, we saw where they're going to put it. They are indeed going to put it into mortgage companies and banks. Now, what's interesting is that we have this pandemic going on, and during a pandemic, it's a great time for innovative companies to be on tap. And the reason for that is no one really has any excess spending when we're in situations like this of crisis. And so you as anyone, either business to business or consumer, everyone needs basically the most efficient answers possible, the most efficient services, the most efficient products. Because times are hard, right? So when times are hard and when there's crisis, that's when the innovative companies get tapped. And that's when those ones that were in the shadows suddenly become the one that gets adopted at the forefront and starts to move forward. And so you see that all throughout history. When there's times of crisis, innovations flourish, right? So instead of these institutional investors, institutions, hedge funds investing in, say, Bank of America, they're putting their money into fintech and into RKT, Rocket Mortgage, because they're kind of the future of mortgages, right? So you have to think of, okay, what's the innovative version of lending? What's the innovative version of lending? I want to be in those, So long term, that's where all the money is probably going to start to funnel in. All the innovative lending services over the next 40 years, really. So that's just the way things are going to go. Oh, nice job on the screen. Looking good tonight. Okay, good. Glad to hear it. Zillow, there's another one. Yes, Zillow and RKT. And I think that, you can't underestimate the importance of that paradigm shift, because it's not something that anybody actually sees in their lifetime. You have to study the markets, as I have, macroeconomics and macro, and you have to understand the cycles of the market are 80 years long. So no one in their lifetime ever really sees more than 2 or 3 of the 4 cycles. Okay, because the 4 cycles are during bad times, that creates innovative people, and those people create good times. And the good times create lazy people, and lazy people create bad times. And this cycle just continues over and over, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it lasts a generation each time, because each person is creating children from the previous generation. And right now we're going through like a socialist time. So now that's why you're going to see inflation going up, and you're going to see a rise in commodity prices, in real estate, in assets, lots of rise in pricing, and the lending rates are going to go up with that. So if you think, like, for instance, a house is expensive now, in about 8 years, houses are going to be about 3 times as much as they are right now. 3 times. So you may not believe that right now. You may not believe me, but I've studied this, and that's the phase that we're in. It's over. From 1980 until now, we've been on a downslide, and bonds have been a great place to put your money, because as rates go down, the bonds that you're holding actually go up in value. But that's going to be the opposite now. So yes. And so you're going to see rates go up, banks, mortgages, companies, lendings, and you're going to see equities, like I said, businesses struggle. It's going to be like a real struggle at a certain point. At a certain point, you're not, in the 1980, mortgage rates got up to like 14%, but that was after 40 years of inflation from 1940s. But they got up to about 14%. So that's the future. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on companies to innovate out of that. That's what you're going to see, though. You're going to see a lot of innovation coming. Underneath all that pressure and inflation is going to come innovation. The interesting thing is it's going to be tougher for you, therefore, in the future to get money, to be lended money, right? And it's basically who has the money now That's it. It's been shifted over. It's going to lock it up, right? The lenders are now going to make money. Basically, if you don't have money yet, you better hurry up and get some, because you want to become a lender now in the future. That's where you want to put your money. And that's exactly what the stock market is, of course. When you're buying something, you're lending people your money. And you're lending these companies your money and your faith. So in any event, just that was a quick little macro view of like what the hell is going on over the last 6 days. It is like, this is that pinnacle moment where that's it. Like we've been waiting for 40 years. We've been waiting for this moment. Wasn't sure if it was going to be last year or when it was going to come, but this is it. We've hit the bottom and now we're going to start rising up. You may see things like corn prices and all those commodities prices go up hundreds upon hundreds of percent over the next even 3 or 4 years. And yeah, as Sergio says, market crash maybe. Yes, you might call it that, but it could be just this rotation, because some things will go up and other things will stay flat, like consumer staples, because like, toilet paper is not going anywhere. But like, that cool nifty new laser binocular thing, that company's going to go bankrupt. They're not going to make it. So, the next 40 years is going to be very interesting how everything changes, and of course, Google and Apple and Facebook and all these companies are going to have to innovate through that. They're going to have to innovate to what people need. And likely they will be able to do it easily. Like artificial intelligence is an easy answer for how to more productively do fucking anything in the next 10 or 20 years. By the way, you can ask about it later, but 2029 and 2045, two very important dates. I'm not going to go into that because I have a rule that says anytime any discussion devolves into the singularity, it's all done. You got to take a break. No more discussion. So anyway, let's go and check out this chart. Maybe this, look at this chart. I mean, to me, I don't know if you noticed it, but to me, like this could be a lower low today, turning around. I mean, we're going sideways. Today's bar was inside yesterday's bar. So that does give it some flexibility to just be anything. I mean, today was a nothing day, essentially. It was actually very light volume. And today was kind of a nothing day, but that's what it can feel like when you're just taking money in from one area and bringing it and putting it over to another. The S&P 500 might not actually move that much, but two different stocks in two different sectors might actually move. So there could be this shift happening like a chameleon right in front of you. So we can measure what we can measure, but things from there may even change. So take a look at this. So what if we're in a downtrend right now? What if this is the top today, and this is what we have to look forward to? It's possible. It's possible on a weekly chart or on a monthly chart, perhaps even more so. And then right now you're going to be fooled by a couple up days. You're going to get some euphoria in there, and you're going to buy some stuff. But we may be going down. I'm not, I'm a little bit bearish on the market right now for that reason, but not really. I mean, I would love to get into the fintech and start putting my money into there. That's exactly what I've started to do with my portfolios, is get them all prepared to do that. I have zero equities. I've had zero equities for 10 months. I've been on everything else: gold, Bitcoin, real estate, emerging markets, foreign real estate, foreign equities, but not domestic equities. So anyway, I feel that today, as an inside day, just gives the market makers a lot of options. Because, like for instance, tomorrow it could go and put in a candle like this, and it would still be inside the range of the previous day. This being yesterday or the previous session. So it could put that in. It could even put in another one of these days and then do it again over here. And for 4 days, just do nothing different than yesterday. This whole week could just be sideways. And then at some point, if it does have to make a decision, it's going to have to break that low, or break that high. I'm fully happy with either direction. It really doesn't matter to me, because if it goes down, I'll know what to do. And if it goes up, I'll know what to do. And if it goes up, you'll know what to do. If it goes down, you might want to come screaming to me, but we'll figure that out together. But anyway, the next few days I feel are just going to chop around. They're going to be chopped sideways. They don't create very good trading days, by the way. Tomorrow, I do want to mention, by the way, tomorrow we have live day trading free all day in our group. You'll be able to watch all my screens at the same time, and I'll help you trade in many different styles. We do high frequency trading, scalping, momentum breakout trading. We use sub-millisecond systems to take trades. And simultaneously, we're guiding you through trades that are not too much to sweat. They're following the 2-minute candles. That's not too bad. And then we even take 5-minute candle options trades. So we'll see what turns up tomorrow. Make sure to be there. And what you got to do in order to make sure you don't forget is just click through the link now in wherever you're watching. There's a link there, and just go ahead and click to join our Discord. So then you'll have a free membership to our Discord, and you'll get a notification in the morning, just like everyone else got a notification tonight of this class. You'll get a notification on your phone or your whatever for the live day trading to begin. And we actually begin like 30 to 45 minutes before the market opens, so we can get about 30 or 40 stocks up and ready that are the hottest stocks of the day, like we did today. And then we day trade them. So today, we day trade. Well, let's take a quick look at the VIX, but essentially we'll probably see that go sideways as well. Yeah, the VIX inched down, but basically opened and closed inside of yesterday, and it is at 24. So I don't think we're popping any bottles of champagne this week, because that's been my promise, is that if we can close below 20 on one of these days, then I'm going to pop a bottle of champagne on air. I don't even know if that's illegal. If you can have, like, maybe I can get, well, I'm not going to want to pop a non-alcoholic champagne, but we're going to do it. So, all right. So Zoom, I believe we traded today. It's one of them. And I'll have to double check here, because I believe not illegal on Zoom. Not illegal on Zoom, that is true, but maybe illegal on TikTok. So, and YouTube, who knows? Hello, Zerad and Andrew. Do you believe institutions will add more on Tesla and Square? Square, that's a good one. Yeah. And Tesla, no, that doesn't make sense with my thesis, right? That doesn't make sense. All right, let's take a look here. The 1-minute chart on Zoom. No, I don't think we did trade Zoom. No, I never presented an entry. We were going to, because I had an incredible pre-market and after hours yesterday. What was the other ones we traded? They're on my other screen here. SC and Rocket. And there was one other one, but let me pull up SC. So we made 40% on SC, day trading the option on that. And where did we make that? Looking at it here, looks like, gosh, you know what? I think it was really only like a 1 or a 2 point gain on the stock from here, 265, 264 and a half, all the way up to 267. And that was a 40% gain. I have the stats here. Let's see. Yep. And then Rocket, we had 2 40% trades happen. Obviously, Rocket was incredible today. Gave up on it too early, but we still got a lot out of it in the early session. And go ahead and type what you'd like to take a look at, along with why you'd like to take a look at it, and we'll take a look at it like right now in just a second here. So yeah, we had a lot of action on Rocket today. And I'm trying to remember at what point we took it. Actually, we took it after it started to have this unbelievable explosion in the afternoon session. We came back on to put in a couple of breakout trades right here at 32, all the way up to this pullback at 35, and then another breakout from 35 all the way up to 36.5, and both of those were 40% gains via the options. And what kind of account are you trading with to make 40%? Well, we used the options. So you could do that with, I think they were, how much were the Rocket options today? I think they were like $200 per option, something like that. And what do you say about, you want to take a look at ARK-K? Do you buy a certain amount of contracts no matter what the price of the stock is? Okay, well, once you have more than enough money, then you can do things like just buy 10 every time, So that's what I do. I'll buy like 10 or 20, 30, 40, 50, depending on the situation and how aggressive I want to be. Sometimes, depending on what it is, I'll even take 100. But it just depends. Right now with this choppy market, I'm not too interested in getting caught going the wrong way, with a whole bunch of contracts. So I've been playing it safe, making just a couple grand every day on these trades. All right, so let's go into your guys' stocks. Those were what we traded today. We also traded a couple momentum stocks. Let me see. I think only one. What was it? Now, Verisites. Oh, Michaels. Yeah, MIK. Yeah, so we got this nice appreciation run in the morning via stock, and then following the 2-minute candles. What you're looking at right now is the 1-minute candles with a 5-minute candle overlay, which is pretty cool. Go ahead and click the links in my bio on my link tree. Get into my link tree. Actually, you guys on TikTok don't get my link tree right now. I think we swapped out the link. But just go to linktree/charttrader. And that'll take you to how you can get these indicators and stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, that was a really great trade from 17 up to 18.9. I remember one of our members got 18.99, and that was actually the top. Was that you, Sergio? Somebody got sold at 18.99, but we basically all sold up there at 18.95, 18.94. Right up in the 1890s, and got in around, I believe it was 18.1 for that trade, or it could have even been 17 from earlier in the morning. No, it wasn't you? All right. Window, can you give me an example of the chart of bag holders and how long they stay in the picture? Yeah. Meaning, can you tell me how much resistance there's going to be and how long it's going to be before this thing goes back to where it ever was? Is that essentially what you're asking, Tony? Probably. So you can do your own kind of analysis, but here's your red days, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And you can see that, what is this in millions of shares? No, dollars. I've got, this is dollar volume on the bottom here. But you can see that there was a 20 million, 20 million, so that's 40 and 27, so 67 and 31, so 98. So call it 100 million. So there's $100 million drop. It took $100 million to push the price down there. And it happened really fast, and you got to assume that a lot of people got trapped, but not all of them. But that's what it's going to take, is $100 million worth of volume, of up volume, for it to get back up. And it's been pushing about 10 million. So 10 trading sessions in the green, just straight up, would do it. How likely is that? Not likely. So it's probably going to chop around and go sideways for maybe even 10 times longer than that. So my guess, my conservative guess, would be 100 trading sessions. And that is half a year. because there's about 200 trading sessions in the year. So 100 trading sessions, about half a year. So you might see window get back up here realistically around August. So hopefully that gets you the fuck out of it, and so you can put your money in something else. What software are you using? This is Thinkorswim. I swear I should have that like right on the bottom. Can you check MVIS? Like, what are my thoughts? Like, yeah, let me know why you want me to look at something. Who's the kind of returns? How do I overlay 2 timeframes on TOS? So that's just to go to Linktree/chart trader and check out my links there. Somebody wants us to look at Apple. That's a for sure. I think everybody wants us to look at Apple. And then I'll get to you, Griffin. Don't worry. I'm going to scroll up, and you guys on YouTube as well. So if you look at the weekly chart on Apple, let's zoom out to the weekly chart. There's the daily chart, right? But let's zoom out to the weekly chart, and something interesting is revealed. What you see on the weekly, if I can annotate it here, I should probably use like really thick lines. That's just easier to see. Okay. Hopefully they're not too thick. Is a low put in, a lower high, a lower low. And so unless Apple can now get all the way up and over basically 140, if it were to put in a lower high at any point right now and just turn around and start going down, any point below 140, if it does that and then breaks that low of 117, Apple is now in a confirmed downtrend. So it's in a pretty testy spot right now because it's got 3 out of 4 points of a downtrend confirmed already. So again, if Apple can't make it over 140, it'll be downtrending soon, which is just crazy to think. And then where would it go from there? Well, the last bounce pivot point was 105. So that looks like that will be the target, the next level of support, 105. And there's one extra level of support at 107.5 along the way. So, this is the thing with stocks is he who is quickest to not give a shit and drop their money and take their money out and put it on something else that's making money makes the most money. So, if you want to just think Apple's going to go up and do some voodoo and make it go up, you can go for it. But if you read the charts, you can see that Apple's been struggling for half a year. So has a lot of tech. And it might be a good idea for you to put your money on something else. And just get out of Apple. If you have Apple, just get out of it and get back in 10 or 20 or 30 points lower in half a year or the end of the year or beginning of next year because you love the stock or whatever. And if you're afraid you're going to miss out on some gains or something, you don't have to, because once it breaks over 140, that'll be the moment where it's confirmed that that Apple is not in a downtrend and it puts in a confirmed reversal. So at the moment, though, it's in peril, it's in question, and we're not sure. All right, let me go back up to Griffin's question. All right, and then Spencer says, how does SOS look for next week? I have a strike of 11, but based on current trends, I'm not sure if it's going to continue up. Yeah, we'll just get out of that, man. Let's go over to the daily chart to look at that. You have a strike of 11. Well, that's basically an out of the money lotto ticket at this point. So you can kiss that money goodbye. That's probably pretty worthless at this point. I mean, I don't know how much it's worth now, but maybe like $35, $55, maybe more depending on the volatility here. But Yeah, I think you should start thinking about making some money somewhere else. No more Crocs. What do you mean, Sergio? Oh, no more Crocs because yeah. Well, I mean, come on. What are the margins on rubber shoes must be huge. I'm sure Crocs is not going to get hit too hard, and that's almost a consumer staple, right? It's like if we could boil shoes down to their cheapest form, where do we go to buy them? Crocs. I'm going to just go through a lot of the ones on Zoom here, and then I'm going to come into the TikTok and the YouTube questions. Picked a really good time to get into trading. I'm down 40% of my account and thinking tech was the way to go. Well, it's more about grabbing those innovative companies, the super innovative companies. And yeah, John. But yeah, at least now, what to be careful of. With the rapid rate of population increase, I think the housing market won't be able to keep up in the future. Yeah, I'd have to see the charts on those, compare them, with population increase against new housing builds to see about that. That would be definitely a worthwhile analysis. Let's see. So you think SC was good? You should have seen SC. That's an inside joke, Bill. If you could take a look at AT&T or FireEye, please. I have options on both expiring 3/19. All right. Okay, good. That helps me. I know what time frame you're on, etc. Garrett, good job. All right. So AT&T not only goes sideways. Do you see that? Predominantly kind of sideways, if you want to call it that, but it kind of goes down, doesn't it? Wouldn't you say? Kind of tilts down overall. So while all other companies are doing great during this economic recovery, AT&T can't even go sideways. I mean, come on. So yeah, I don't feel too good about AT&T. I would not be too hopeful on whatever you've got on that. And unless you got the 75 Delta like I teach, you're probably in trouble. Probably should get rid of it. FI, because you probably have like that, I don't know, 31 or 32 call, which would be just a waste of money every day. FI, but I don't know, and I'm not judging. FireEye is in a downtrend, so hopefully you got puts. See that? I mean, if you want to bet on anything, and if you want to, say, okay, this thing's going, which way is it going? Wouldn't you say, isn't that the intelligent, decision that you would say too? I'd say this thing's going down to previous levels of 15.8. If you had to take a bet, would you not take that bet? Like, that's the bet. If you're taking some other bet, I mean, that's a dream, a hope, a lottery ticket. It certainly doesn't look like what you're being shown. All right, continuing on. SC and Zoom, I'll do those really quick because I want to get over to the YouTubes and the TikTok members. Let's see. SE. I love SE, but today's candle was like really strongly negative. So, but however, as you can see, I've already previously been in here and I've put it on a channel on SC. This white one, it looks like it got out of control lately, went up a bit too high, and now with the current earnings is being corrected. So I would again wait for it to come back down to like 230 before I get back in. And even then, I'd be looking at the chart to make sure I'm in an uptrend, not a downtrend. Put your money into things that are in an uptrend. It's like betting on someone who can win a race. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't bet on someone who runs backwards to win a race. Boy, that's man, what a way to say that. That is perfect right there. You would not bet on a person who doesn't run, who just sits there or runs backwards to win a race. So why would you put your money on something in a downtrend? And then Zoom. So Zoom is in a downtrend, that's for sure. And I believe today's earnings, originally the reaction was positive, but it's turned out to be an unfavorable reaction. So essentially, Zoom's been in a downtrend for half a year, and today was no exception. It finally had the chance to get up and over previous pivot point, but couldn't do it. It did it in the pre-market, but it couldn't make it over this previous pivot point at 450. It hit 455 in the pre-market, couldn't do it during the market. The market would not have it. And now it's at 372. Amazing. I mean, somebody asked me today, should we grab puts on it? And it was actually on my radar. It still is up here. I'll show, I guess the only people on TikTok can see this, but I have this a special strategy scan that I run, and there's only 2 stocks on it today that would have been a 3-day crap out. There's only 2 stocks on it. T-Tech, and guess what else? Zoom. And it told me that in the morning, when it was up there at 440, and it stayed all day. And then somebody asked me, should we get into Zoom for puts? And I said, maybe not, because it's got good analyst upgrades, and you don't want to go against the upgrades, and this and that. And man, actually would have made about $4,000 on just one contract had you done that. The contract probably would have cost about $4,000, but you would have made 100% return in one day. All right, moving forward. Instead saying Crocs, I'm going to start saying Wells Fargo, right, and Bank of America. And today I found something interesting. Was it FINX? Let me see here. I think it was FINX. FINX was an ETF, I believe. Global FinTech. There it is. There's where you want to put your money. FINX, Global FinTech. Like, park some money there for the next 40 years. Like, seriously, FinX. And then also, of course, what else can you guys remember? ARC-F, right? One of the best innovative FinTech funds. They look very similar, right? Great graphs, wonderful graphs, just going up and up and up into the future. And they're going to really take off. Rocket just blasted over the all-time highs today. But what you have to remember now is that this stock has become unhinged, right? So it's off the charts. It's got a big gap. It's completely wild and untamed. It'd be like trying to bring a lion into your home. Don't do that with your money. Do not hold unhinged stocks overnight. Terrible idea. If you're worried about missing gains, then see a psychologist. Tomorrow, just day trade it. Get in at a low, take it way up. If that's the way it's going to go, get out when it's at the top. If it doesn't go up, don't get in or get puts, right? Or sell short. But what you don't want to do is subject your money to overnight holds on unhinged stocks, because you do not know where it's going tomorrow. You may try and tell yourself you do, but you don't know where it's going tomorrow. And you can wake up with 40% of your money gone. Let's see. I held that FEYI option. I think I'll give Bill has also the FEYI. Apple and Tesla seem like they might tumble more to me, but hey, anything is possible. That's true. Anything is possible. Let's take a look at Tesla. So what you can see about Tesla is it's hit this green 100 moving average recently. And now it's hanging out between the 50 and the 100. When was the last time it ever was that far down? Was pretty much in October. And have there been any other touches in between the 50 and the 100? No, not since it started to really appreciate from the bottom there. And so it may return back to even this 100 moving average, which right now is 630, 640, and test it. And if it's in a downtrend, which I mean basically it is, but on the larger time frame, if it's not, But on this time frame, Tesla is in a downtrend. Here's your low, your lower high, your retest of that lower high, which is a bearish double top. And that's a very strong sign that things have reversed. And that went in and put in that huge leg down, which recently put in a lower high again. And now we are where we are today. What if it puts in another double top right there? That's going to be bearish. If it does that, comes down and breaks this little point here, then you know it's going to come down back to this, test this bottom right here, and it's going to go down from there. So the next few days of Tesla are going to be kind of exciting, because if it can't get over, it looks like 750-ish. If it can't get above 750, it may go down all the way to 550 in like 2 weeks. So that's pretty insane to think about. All right, let me grab some from the TikTok. Look at CCIV for me. Is it too late to get in Rocket? You don't get in it. Just day trade it. It's crazy now. Yeah. Yes, I did, Luke. See a psychologist. How do you feel about Tesla 850C? Well, you just thoughts on AFA. All right, so I think CCIV possibly is one of these unhinged stocks. I'll take a quick look at it, and then I'm going to jump over to the YouTubes. So I ended up showing you Tesla anyway, and you wanted me to take a look at it. And that's why we look at some of the most popular stocks. There's not much to see on Riot. It follows Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. That'll be even more productive. So isn't like, after the announcement with CCIV, the stock got cut in half in price. So that's very bearish. You have to imagine that it put in a candle here. Let's see if I can draw it for you. If you fill in the gaps and you connect the red candles to the other red candles, then what you have is this. You have one giant red candle filled with a ton of volume. And so for it to even get back up anymore, it's going to, like, what was that other stock we were looking at, like at the beginning of the session? It could take 6 months. So unless you like to see your money just sit there, then I would say if it were me, I would take my money out and put it on something that's doing well, not gambling it on CCIV. All right, over to the YouTube. Make sure you accompany the ticker that we're going to look at with why we should look at it, and like for what time frame: a day trade, a swing trade, investing, long term, medium, short term, up, down. Are we making money? Should I short it? Just that. How do you feel about Tesla? All right, we already looked at it. And hello from Utah. Hello, Persian. Target lost all of its momentum with its earnings, despite being positive, ending up bag holding because of an internet outage. Do you see recovery before 319? I had some calls for pre-earnings run-up. I also have some calls, and we even doubled down today at a bottom, but it went and it broke that bottom even more. I believe in Target. I don't really see their recent report as being as negative as that was. I feel like this is just a perfect example of a market overreaction. And, Target has a ton of consumer staples in it. So there's a lot of protection there financially. The unfortunate thing is I don't know how long it's going to stay at this low level. We doubled down today on it, and we're hoping that it'll go up. We have options until April 16th. So I wanted to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I can't really gauge direction without at least 2 points. Today we have this huge bar, which I believe is an overreaction. But what if tomorrow it goes from where it's at now, 173 down to 153. Obviously we're out, and so I need to see another day. But if it, puts in a green candle, little candle in between here and crawls up to 180 tomorrow, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable with holding it. Rocket, I sold 5 out of my 30 shares today in at 22. Way to go, Matthew. I've been waiting on this like a dead horse. Should I sell all or have stop losses? Yes, you should sell all. Do not get greedy. That's a huge jump. Do you have any idea how long it would have taken you to earn the price of 43? Like, what are you doing not selling? That price, you might not see a price like that normally with normal appreciation. The expectation on that could have been this summer, August, maybe in the winter coming. You just got that in one day. You take that money and you run. That's the fastest money you can make. Those kinds of gains, you don't get those normally. And when you do get them that fast, you can prove that you make money faster than anyone else by taking those profits and going and putting them in something else that's going to do that same thing, right? And now you become the top performer of the market. But you don't become the top performer of the market holding when you should be selling. This is an obvious sell. How do you feel about Tesla calls? All right, so with the chip shortage. Hilarious. That's exactly what you asked me in the TikTok, right? Did you come into my YouTube from the TikTok version? I saw you say that. But yeah, I'm not bullish on Tesla right now. Not in the short term. In the long term, obviously I am. And actually, I do think that Tesla could probably struggle as all these companies are lighting up EV divisions. That's a lot of competition. And now, maybe in like 10 years with, 50 other EV companies competing with Tesla and so much choice out there. And there could be a Tesla crusher out there. Who knows? Eventually, in 5 years. Now you're going to look back and say, boy, that Tesla was overvalued. All those people were right. I don't think so. I just trade the charts. I'm a chart trader. So like all I do is trade the charts. If it's going up, it's going up. I really don't care. It could be pots and pans. It doesn't matter to me. He primarily reads the comments from his viewers on TikTok, so you'll have to wait a little for your questions to be answered on here. Thanks, Mike. Mize. How much shares is good to buy to make money? That's a very beginner question, and you shouldn't allocate more than like 10% of your money in shares in any one position. That's probably the best advice I could tell you. So if something's $100, you have $10,000. You can afford 10 shares because that would be $1,000 because 10 shares times $100 is $1,000 and $1,000 is 10% of $10,000. I've been in Nano Dimension. I bought it at 10. I was up about 80% and now it's on a downtrend and I keep waiting for a bounce and the market is not helping. I would like to hear your thoughts. I like it. Thank you for describing all that. So I think that, yeah, this is a congestion zone that it's in right now. This whole zone. It could go all the way back down to 8, bounce up to 10.5, go down to 8, go bounce up to 10.5. Basically, this is a congestion range that it can bounce off of or get stuck in. And it's already in it. So it may very well do this for a while. What you would have liked to have seen is seen it bounce off of the top. It did not do that. So that's bad. So it's a bad stock. And when it broke this pivot point here, that's it. Game over. It's in a confirmed 4-point downtrend. 1, 2, 3, and then way down here, 4. Yeah, or any price that, at this point. It's in a downtrend. So Nano Dimension, don't get your hopes up for anything. Take that money and go put it on something good. Shall we do it, guys? Like, Crocs. Yeah, that's a stock that you want to put money into. Crocs. And what was the other one? EAT. EAT. Another beautiful looking chart. And all the ARKs. ARK K. Well, actually, ARK K is not doing too great right now. Huh? What happened? Okay, come on, type. ARK G. ARK Q still doing pretty good. ARK W. We're hoping that those are just once in 6 month opportunities to get in and not a sign of a downtrend. The end of the ARKs. Let's keep going here. Solar hit previous lows and a potential uptrend. HCMC, no, we're not going to look at that. Looking at alpha, it's in a nice looking triangle on the daily. Could see a breakout tomorrow. All right, let me grab some from the group. And we've got some deep explanations here and a lot of messages. Twitter, in for a swing. Think it may have found a bottom, but I don't have a strong outlook. I sold half my position today. It was at what, 78, 77? And now it's at 74. I don't really see what value is Twitter going to bring in the future more than it already does now, right? I'm not sure I see it. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Twitter, but the chart looks good. It still is bullish just because it's pulled back a little until it breaks that low right there, that pivot low right there. It's still bullish. It does not turn bearish until it breaks that pivot low right here. That's the point at 66 in which Twitter has a confirmed reversal. But it may not. It may now bounce off of this little congestion zone that's right here, go in and come back out. But don't feel bad. I mean, as long as you made a profit, that's good. All right, TRCH has a merger soon and is rumored to be giving a nice dividend. They are debt-free and own a ton of acreage in Texas. I feel like this may be in your backyard. The company they are merging with is Canadian-based and wants to be included in the U.S. markets. I believe this is why the merger is happening. At any rate, you need to be in this for a dividend by March 12th for the dividend payout, and it is rumored to be from $1 to 25. $2.50, you're probably saying. I think $1 is more realistic. I bought in at 266 and is currently up after hours. I'm swinging this until after the merger. Only have 150 shares. TRCH is the stock ticker name if you care to look into it. All right. Yeah, we were watching that for a trade today. I think maybe you brought that up. Is that Kelly? Yeah, I think maybe you brought that up today in the group. So that's a pretty huge, significant pullback. And by the way, I don't know if you're aware of this, but when a stock issues a dividend, it drops the price, the amount of the dividend that you got. So let's say this, $2.65 stock here gives $1 dividend. Then the moment they give the dividend, it drops to $1.65. I don't know if you're aware of that. Hopefully you are. So be a little careful. But yeah, this has dropped into a congestion range, previous congestion range, off of a bullish run with like essentially a 90% retrace. So I'm not too excited about a stock like that, and probably expect it to do that. As a matter of fact, that kind of like dividend almost makes sense at that point. Yeah, Linktree/chart trader Zapata, but the Linktree has a dot. If you're not familiar with Linktree, has a dot after TR. So linktr.ee/chart trader. linktr.ee/chart trader. So that's 2 T's in a row on chart trader. All right. And there's a lot of links there for you. Griffin, not sure what he's talking about, but he says it makes sense. They're going down. COVID has hurt everyone's pocketbook. Yeah. Costco uptrend is over. Wish I would have sold. Man, I really love how you're coming to grips with this, Jonathan. I mean, you're actually expressing it now. You're not hiding it. You're accepting. You're now grieving. That's what the tears are. You're grieving over you're regretting, your regrets, and there truly is no hope. But the time to have gotten out of this now in the future, if you could be smarter, is any time the price breaks a previous pivot low. So look at that. There's your pivot lows, and here's your higher highs. So that means the stock is continuing to be in an uptrend when it does that. Higher highs, higher lows. That's an uptrend. At what point, pop quiz, did this stock stop putting in higher highs? And at what point did it break trend? Basically right here, right? And you have this point here, which when it turned around, you could see that's almost a head and shoulders pattern commensurate with that previous shoulder, if you want to call it that. And when price here broke this level, this level at that moment, that then created a 4-point confirmed downtrend. 1, 2, I'm not going to write the 2 because 3, see, because I have like a line tool, and 4. So the time to 100% be sure you should get out is right here. The time to be concerned is on this red candle, which didn't continue breaking new highs along the trend in order to make a new high. Instead, it started to pull back. At that point, you probably should have gotten rid of like 50% of your position. Probably you could have got out even earlier up around here had you followed some of my rules. But yep, you're getting better little by little, right? Just so much to learn on the market. You can never learn everything. Never. You just have to master like 10 things. And then it takes like 10 to 20 years. And then just do that for the rest of your life. Can we take a look at HCMC? All right, 2 people wanted to take a look at HCMC, but we're getting to the end of our session. So let me just quickly, we have 42 more messages here. Let me quickly see if there's anything else. Okay, a couple other people still wanted to look at HCMC. So we're definitely going to look at HCMC. And a lot of the messages have been copy and paste, so there's really nothing new there. Rocket down 8.1% after hours. So obviously overnight holding would have been a bad idea. There truly is no hope. All right, let's look at HCMC. Yeah, so that's a stock that's become unhinged. Wow, look at that. I'm just gonna leave it there for a second. How ugly is that? What the hell happened there? Okay. So this stock became wild and unhinged, and it's just been on a downtrend, and that's what you can expect to continue until it reverses. I don't see any opportunity there. If it was curving, or if it was basing, or if it was bouncing off the previous levels and continuing to show a pattern of stair stepping or uptrending or breaking new highs, you've got a pattern. Here, pattern's all done. Game over. So it's going back to nothing. Sorry if you lost a lot of money. AFA was requested a couple times. Yeah, probably by you. That's pretty funny. No, we have to grab a YouTube comment, and also we'll be doing a TikTok comment, and then we're going to move on to see what we're going to go after tomorrow. Is that a little bull flag that I see on Eat Daily chart? Could be. I would love for that. Cameron keeps asking for TSM. I'm really curious at what you think of the Tilray and Afria merger. I see. So I don't really have a thought on that. That's an event. You're not going to really find that on the chart. What you can see here on AFA is it hits a higher high, it pulls back, it creates a base. It hits a higher high, it pulls back, it creates a base. It hits a higher high, it's pulled back, and now this time it pulled back lower, but I guess that was because the market crashed and made a lower low than the previous high, so that's not necessarily good. But then it created a base and then failed to make a higher high, and now it's creating another base, and it looks like it's failing to create a higher high. So we're in downtrend land, and you can tell by these gigantic candles that's the end. After the big fucking thing has happened, it's over, right? Like, look, that's the big thing, right? Look, you can see the volume and the price, like, they call that climactic volume, the climactic candle, okay? And, that's like the earthquake you've been waiting for, Now you might have aftershocks and, little spikes and this or that, but unless it's a short squeezed stock by Wall Street bets, it's not going up much anymore. Sergio, you're in here every night. You don't remember what unhinged means? Unhinged means, there's a gap. We even talked about it in this class. It means there's like a gap and the price has gone absolutely wild. And that's something that you do not want to be holding those kinds of stocks overnight. All right, let's take a look. Oh, somebody else wants to take a look at TSM. You got me all excited for TSM. All right, that's what we're going to end the looking at the individual stocks on is TSM, and then we're going to go and look at what might be hot for tomorrow. All right, let's see. And remember, tomorrow is free all-day live day trading with me. You're going to be able to see all 4 of my screens, and I'll be calling out different levels of day trades throughout the day, from options to income trades to high frequency scalps. So hopefully you'll be able to join us tomorrow. Make sure you click through the link in my bio. So TSM, here it is. So it's putting in a heads and shoulders pattern is what it looks like. And that's I don't know if that's going to be indicative with all semiconductors. Maybe they're all going through this right now. Let's take a look at NVIDIA real quick. Maybe they're all suffering this kind of well, certainly NVIDIA is suffering a lot of topping action. And that's AMD, but TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. And by the way, what is there is a Taiwan ETF that's absolutely astounding. You can PM me if you want to grab that. PSI is a really good, dynamically traded, actively traded semiconductor ETF, by the way. PSI, that's what you're looking at right there. Now on TSM, if you can take a look at this, it looks like a head and shoulder formation here, which is this when you put in a bottom that's very similar to a previous bottom. What may happen is something like this, and it doesn't make it all the way to the top. And then that's it. And then now it's going to go and it breaks the neckline and goes down to like 104. So, if you love TSM, I say love it long-term, like years, and maybe stay in it. But if you're just looking to make money over a swing trade, I will probably get out around this previous shoulder, 136, and not expect more and don't look back. But if it were to break that high of 144 after that, then you could jump back in on a pullback on the trend. All right. Hopefully that wasn't too many lines. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at the market chameleon. Check out the after hours activity. All right. You bet. Who is that? Mateo. Thanks, man. Actually, there's not a lot in after hours. But one of them with a lot of volume and only 180 million market cap is HTBX. So that may be something that we trade tomorrow. Let's take a look at the after hours chart and see. So that's TSM, HTBX, Heat Biologies. All right, that's excellent. So the reason why we like this is it has a really good shape, and that shape is the following. It'd be funny if it was just like up. No, It's more than that. It went up, it pulled back not more than 50%, and then it broke high. And then it broke that high, went up more, pulled back not more than 50%, held those pullbacks, went up, broke high again, pulled back not more than 50%. And then we had, and I forgive stocks in after hours for anything that happens in the last like 20, 30 minutes of the after hours day. But we had this like little drop. Tomorrow, it could open here, and that's okay with me so long, it's at 4 a.m. when it does that. So long as it continues to put in these nice bullish patterns. And if so, then that's going to be one hot stock tomorrow during the market. So long as the wind is at our back and the market itself is at least, going up a little bit, staying tame, not scaring anybody, not dropping, then we could see HTPX become a real big winner. Another one on only 300,000 of volume might not qualify. Let's take a look. IRIX. Yeah, that's an okay chart. It's not like the other one where it was breaking new highs, you see. But, and it did pull back almost 90%, but then rebounded, kind of settled in the middle. So, but you can basically deduce from that it's not going to be as high of a potential as the other one, but we'll definitely be watching it tomorrow. I'll definitely see where that is in the morning. Definitely would like to see where that is in the morning. MRVI, sound like Rain Man there. Yeah, definitely IRIX. Yeah, definitely IRX. MRVI. Oh, here we go. MRVI. This looks really good. It's called Maravai Life Sciences Holdings. Cool name. But here you can see same kind of good stuff. A huge pop in after hours from 35 to 45, essentially. And then only about a 30% retrace. That's very bullish. What I would have liked to have seen is for it to break a new high, but that's okay. It's saved some for tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes tomorrow. And again, like if it opens down here in the morning at 4 a.m., that's just because of lack of liquidity. Give it a chance, give it a break. And then let's see if over the next few hours before the market opens, if it can actually put in the right kind of shape. And then we have with 6.7 million shares traded in after hours, and but a $14 billion market cap. So this would probably be a options trade tomorrow, if it looks good. UWMC. All right, so that's UWM Holdings, and went from 9 to 11 in after hours. And as you can see, it pushed up and then pulled back not more than 50%, probably about 40%, and held and even curved up a little all the way into the close of after hours. That's another good one, UWMC. We have 1.4 million shares traded on a 430 million market cap stock. CAP, C-A-P. Unfortunately, it only went up 8%, but those are some good signatures. Lots of volume, lower market cap essentially, and something like GoPro level. And it's at 1085, so it's not, super crappy penny stock on the OTC. But yeah, it went from 10 to 11 and pulled back and pushed into the final minutes of the after hour session. Didn't pull back more than 40%, I'd say. So there are a few others, but we're starting to drop into like non-impressive pops, like 7%, 5%, etc. Let's take a look again in the morning and see if there's anything else in the morning, even surpassing these. That's going to be awesome. And I'd love to see you there. Tomorrow is live free day trading. You'll be able to see my DOS trader screen for high frequency trading, and you'll be able to see my my scan screen, which is pretty cool. And hey, Sergio, thanks, man. And you'll be able to see my full screen here on TikTok. People can see this. You guys over there can't see this, but I have all the stocks we'll be watching. 30 stocks and potentially more. And because we're a large community, Everyone's going to be recommending this or that, and we will find all these opportunities. We will not miss a trade. We will not miss a trade. That's what you're going to get in our group. We have 5 other analysts in addition to me in our group. So come on by, click the link in the bio, click the link over there. We're going to be day trading all day session tomorrow, all day. I wish it was 24 hours and I wish I was a robot. But yeah, what you got to do is just click the link in my bio, sir. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Let's get some sleep. I'm going to try and wake up kind of early and see if we can kill it tomorrow. Be super prepared. All right. Good night.